everybody, Jim Masters here. Guess what? We've got another great guest for you right now here live on the Jim Masters Show, live entertainment, lifestyle, celebrity talk show series. Look who is returning to Levity Hall and to JMS. The incredible Hollywood star, actress, legend, Cissy Wellman is here. Yeah, star of the Waltons, General Hospital, and so much more, even Hallmark movies. Yeah, we're so excited. She's going to update us on some really exciting things she's been doing since she was a guest with us last. If you didn't see that episode, you can see it in the JMS archives on the YouTube channel, Jim Masters TV. Scroll back and you'll see that epic conversation we had with Cissy. But she is back and we are so excited. If you know about her, as I'm sure you do, because a lot of people are very excited that she's returning exclusively for this celebrity interview and really a conversation more than an interview here on the Jim Masters Show. A lot of you have been telling me you're excited to hear that she's back here on JMS. Well, she is. And let me tell you, we're excited. Actress, director, known for a lot of incredible roles. Outlaw Josey Wales, The Waltons, Made Men, FM, and since 2009, Cissy has been working with the Born to Act players, which is a beautiful thing she does, ages 21 to 45 with Down syndrome and autism special abilities, and they've been meeting once a week since 1995 and act and sing and do improv work as well and put on 2 shows a year. It's a nonprofit, and they are her passion. She is extraordinary. She comes, as you know, from Hollywood royalty. She is Hollywood royalty herself, but her dad, the iconic filmmaker, director, screenwriter, the incomparable William Wellman, he directed the original A Star is Born. Yeah. And so much more. He is known for some iconic films and contributions to the industry. And look at that. There she is with who? John Wayne. That's right. She's been doing this for a long time, and you remember her in so many iconic TV shows, series, specials, movies. She is a national, if not international, treasure. And again, notable, of course, for playing the role of Sissy Walker on The Waltons. There's a great shot there as well. And again, her roles on General Hospital, the daytime soap opera, daytime drama, and lots more. We're very excited to have her here to talk about all the cool things from the past, but again, new things that she's working on. She also penned a very special memoir. There it is. They say, I come from Hollywood royalty, so where's my crown? She has a great sense of humor. She's been very supportive of the Jim Masters Show. Anytime, we've talked about doing different things, she's always right there. And we said, would you like to pop back on? She said, you tell me when and where. I want to be back on Jim Masters Show live because I need some more JMS levity. She was designated a JMS levity the last time she was here. So we are very excited. She, again, is Hollywood royalty herself, comes from an extraordinary Hollywood lineage, and she's all pumped and ready to go. Now, take a look at the setting. When we bring her on screen, it almost looks like she's on the Starship Enterprise, and she's captaining the ship in her big chair. Just the way the sort of the intimate mood lighting that's around her, it's like it's something science fiction. It's very, very cool. It's very calming, but it's like she's captaining a spaceship or something. Is very, very special. And so is she. Here she is, here exclusively, once again, returning to the Jim Masters Show, the one and only Cissy Wellman. Cissy, welcome to the show, my friend. And there she is, captaining the ship. I love it. Looking like $1 million, as always, knocking him dead. How have you been, my friend, since we chatted last?
I've been doing okay. Yeah. Thank you. But can I make a couple of corrections for you?
Sure.
Sitting on the lap was not John Wayne. It was Clark Gable.
That's Clark Gable. Let's take another look at that. Yes,
Clark
you're
Gable.
Right.
Clark
Gable.
Yes.
That's right.
Yeah. And
so what was that like?
Fabulous.
That had to be.
That was on the movie Across the Wide Missouri that my dad directed in Durango, Colorado. And behind him there is the actor John Hodiak. playing
That's
in the
right. Yes.
and I had no idea whose lap I was sitting on. Damn. But
You
he
might
was
a little longer.
a nice man, you know.
Clark Gable, huh? Not many
Yeah,
people can say they had that opportunity to do that, huh?
I know.
Wow. So, what have you been working on? What have you been doing? Have you been writing? Have you been directing? What's been in your life since we chatted last, my friend?
Well, dolly darn. Also, another correction, General Hospital series. I did that the very first year, but that was like my training ground because I was 18. And that was when they did 5 lines or less, I got hired for. So I was working, really learning my craft that way.
What
So,
a way to do it, because the
yeah.
soap operas, those scripts are like that,
And
you
back then
know,
it was live.
and they were live
They
too,
were live.
right?
Yeah. So you walked
All
in,
of them.
you were right. You had to be right there. So that was my training ground. I
What
called
was
it
that experience like, being on that daytime drama at that time when, it's live, the scripts are long,
scary.
right? Huh?
It was great, but a little scary, because you had to just really know and be there. Be right there, and you had the rehearsals, but boy, you went live. It was like doing a play
Did you enjoy
every
it?
day. Loved it.
Yeah.
Oh, sure. Yeah,
Was
learned a
that
lot.
something you wanted to pursue? Did you want to do more soap?
Didn't want to. Well, I did the Young and the Restless. I did a quick thing on. I did a guest star on that. Um,
That's right.
yeah, that was a wonderful. She played a hooker. You know, which always is fun to play. Um, that's I played on Heart to Heart. Yes,
That's
I love that.
right.
Um, so yeah, no, did I really want to? You know, not really, not
Yeah.
really. Rigorous
Yeah.
honesty, not really.
You
Um,
wanted more variety? Because if you get a
yeah,
role on the soap, you could be on that for years.
yeah, and God bless them, everyone that does them. And one of my good friends, Jeff Kober, was doing it, and won an what award, and it's, but he's such a good actor. He
Oh
does
yeah.
everything.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
that's
So
the difference too. If you're able to get that kind of role where you can still work outside, also.
exactly.
Yeah.
Which gives you the opportunity. Some people might not know that you were brought up not in Hollywood, but on a 4-acre farm in Brentwood, California, with horses and chickens and
Yep.
chores collecting eggs. And you rode your horse in Westwood, where USA now dominates the area. Tell us about that experience and how that enriched your life.
Well, I think I was really blessed having, being raised in a showbiz family, but not showbiz ways. Being raised on a farm, and dad always, we had, we weren't given things. We had to work for everything. My dad used to say, I want you to know that toilet paper costs money. So we did our chores. We got paid for it. When I loved it there. That was, we were family oriented, and it was great. I'd go down with dad and collect the eggs, and go up the orange orchard and pick the oranges, and it was great. I've been blessed. I mean, it was very special time, really. Yeah.
You know,
And mom, we played kick the can. We played games at night. I mean, it was daddy used to watch and direct us all, but it was fabulous.
so what was the very first? You mentioned General Hospital being a training ground, and of course that photo of you on the, in the arms of Clark Gable, and many others, I'm sure, over the years that you got introduced to and may have worked with as well. What would you say is probably the very first opportunity for you where people saw you and saw how good you were, to where it started rolling along for you? What was that first project, first movie, first show?
Hmm. Boy, that's interesting. Um, I don't, My Three Sons
Yeah, that's
was a good one,
right.
Gene Reynolds, because I ended up doing two of those. But I was working with a theater group called the Desi Group Professional Theater Workshop with Joe Sargent and Mary Carver. Joe was a wonderful director. Now I was 18. That's why. and I had access to the Paramount lot. And I call myself a set groupie. I love being on sets.
Oh,
And so
yes.
I was there when they were doing Ben Casey,
Hmm.
and the directors were Leo Penn and Sidney Pollack, Mark Rydell. And so I was observing them, and I'd be around. And finally, Leo Penn said to me, he said, "Well, what do you do when you're not here?" I said, "Well, I'm acting." And he went, "Why didn't you let us know?" So I ended up guest starring on the next one with Ben Casey, where I played an 18-year-old medical doctor with Sammy Davis Jr. Whoa. I got to meet Sammy Davis Jr., one of my idols, being a dancer, singer. He was terrific.
Hmm.
So sweet, so nice. And Leo was my mentor. I did, God, I did Run for Your Life. I did, geez, now you're trying to make me remember. I'm 81 years old, so be
No
nice.
way.
I can't remember everything. It's like, holy shit. Did I say that? Oops, sorry. Never know what's going to come out of this mouth.
Don't worry. Aunt Thelma went to bed early. She didn't hear it.
You're good. But it's like, I really wanted to dance, and that's why, I was doing commercials, and that's where I got the
You're a
opportunity to
fabulous
audition
dancer
for
too.
Nick Castle
Yes.
and do the Andy Williams show, to dance on the Andy Williams show, Ernie Ford special. And I was
Yes.
little, so I could be the main one around Andy because he was short.
Did you
So
do all of the formal dance training beforehand, or did it come naturally for you? How did the dance aptitude develop?
I loved dance. I started with ballet, and then went from ballet to primitive and then jazz, which is my baby. I love jazz. And David Winters, remember David Winters from West Side Story, and he's a choreographer also. And David had a dance workshop that was 5 nights a week at 6 o'clock at the top of the Coronet Theater. And my God, it was for the professional. It was Terry Garr. It was Juliet Prowse. There's so many. And that would come in. And it was just great. It was just jazz.
You love
That's what I
jazz,
did.
right?
And I choreographed. And that's the kind of dance I really love.
Hmm.
That's what I did. And I used
What
to have jazz
are you still dancing now?
for fun, of course, dancing around the house. And I've danced with the Born Dad Players. I'll do a little bit of dance with them.
That's fantastic. That is
There's red
great.
lights.
Thank you very much. We are professionals here at the Jim Masters Show.
I
How
got
does it feel to still be a lovety? I like that. What?
I don't know
I
how to
don't
take
think
that.
anybody's ever answered it that way with a hearty laugh.
It's like, I don't know. How am I supposed to know? I
Beautiful
don't.
thing, right? Love and levity together. The world needs
Yes,
more of that, doesn't it, Sissy?
my love. Yes, my life is so blessed. I'm really very lucky. And my book I wrote, but I'm writing. I've got more stories that have come out because I used to play tennis with Mel Brooks and Gene Wilder, and and we
I mean, that
laughed.
had to be a riot playing tennis with Gene Wilder and Mel Brooks. We have to dig
Wait,
into that. What was
the
that like?
oh, it was fabulous. It would be like we'd play, and I was a good tennis player, really good. And so we played at Julianne Griffin, Merv Griffin, ex-wife, at her house on Sundays, on occasion, and Dickie Van Patten would be there, and all of a sudden, Mel ran it, and he'd say, "Okay, let's have a men's doubles now." So it'll be Dick, myself, Gene, and Sissy for a men's doubles. I was the man, and we would play, and it was great. It was great. I've been blessed to play the best tennis and most fun, and the celebrity type was at Richard Brooks's. He was
Mm,
married to Jean Simmons, the actress, and he
that's right.
directed In Cold Blood and Elmer Gantry, so many phenomenal films. And I played there every weekend. It was just the two ladies were Gene Simmons and myself. And there was the cast of players. I walked in one time, there was this guy playing, and I went, God, look at the legs on that dude. He had a hat on, so I couldn't see anything. And I got closer. I went, oh my God, it's Gene Kelly. And I'm a dancer. Gene Kelly. It was like, oh, I died and went to heaven. And we became very good friends. We used to play tennis every weekend. And Brooks used to laugh because he said, I got two dancers on the court, Jesus, playing tennis. They're stretching and doing, and let's play tennis. And it was just a great group. Marilyn and Alan Bergman. At Marilyn Come Watch, it was Alan Bergman, and Bobby Loja. We had a great group that played tennis there. It was blessed.
You in the beginning, you were thinking about being an airline stewardess or flight attendant, and actually trained for 6 months for that role, right? Tell us about that.
Yeah. Well, I always wanted to fly. I didn't really want to act. And then I was going with Robert Donner. And we had met on Jerry Lewis, Disorderly Orderly. And he was off on location. And I said, I just switched careers. I just said, I want to become a steward. So I started training. And then he got concerned that he'd never see me again. Because then you weren't allowed to be married and be a flight attendant. Then they were called stewardesses. So he said he flew me down to location and asked me to marry him. So that was the end of my flighting attendant career, and that was just fabulous. He was fabulous.
That was
El Dorado with John Wayne and Robert Mitchell.
The wind beneath my wings, literally, in that case.
Yes. Yeah.
Of course, you mentioned appearing in the first year of General Hospital, and you've done several films with Jerry Lewis also, huh?
Yeah. I love Jerry.
What was it like working with Jerry?
He was a great educator in comedy, because you can't teach comedy. You either have it or you don't. You can learn technically some things, but that's about it. If you're not funny, shut the door, bye-bye. And he used to do things. He taught me. I mean, he would, when I had a close-up, if he was off camera, he'd bring people in. He'd bring something to crack me up. And I learned to look at his left ear lobe. So it looked like I was looking at him. And I would be just putting my nails in my face so I wouldn't laugh, because he'd try to crack you up.
Would he wiggle that earlobe?
That was Carol Burnett.
She would pull on it. Yeah.
Yeah. But I just, I would just look at him so I wouldn't laugh. He was fabulous.
Was he, a lot of times you hear from different people, and they'll say he was a perfectionist. He was a taskmaster. He demanded perfection. He'll retake. Did you experience that too during the course of it? Or was it just pure pleasure for you?
I thought it was great fun, because he called him his stock company. And it was just great with us. He did a lot of improv, and he was, you got to see what was happening, at the time on a camera. So on a screen, replay. And, the thing is that people would judge Jerry because not just he loved doing so much. He did so much that you can't be perfect at everything. And that's where a lot of people got, upset with him or whatever. But he was a gift, he was funny, he was Jerry. And he taught me he said, as a redhead, being like that, he says, never wear pale colors. He says, you'll fade into it. He says, wear your greens, your rusts, your dark blues, black. So otherwise you're just, unfortunately, my chair is white. I should be black, so I stand out more. Sorry. Um, but, there was a lot of things that he really helped me with. And I went with him to Vegas when he entertained. He did a 10 o'clock show and a late night show. He wanted me to see how the different reaction of the different audiences were. Because the first one were more family. The last one were the drunks, who would, give him trouble and razz him, and how he reacted to them. It was great. It was great learning.
Sort of quick zingers response,
oh,
right? Yeah.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Really good. So that was, and I don't know if you know, but the other story I didn't put in my book is with Harvey Lembeck. Do you remember Harvey Lembeck at all?
Oh, sure. But remind our audience of him.
Harvey Lembeck. Oh, God, you got to help me with that. Harvey was a wonderful comedian, and also actor. He did, oh shoot, I feel bad that I'm not remembering all that he did. One of my favorite movies was Love with a Proper Stranger, and he played one of the brothers. But he did so many different things and comedy. And we started together with my husband, Robert Donner, and and Harvey. We started the Harvey Lembeck Comedy Workshop. And I think that was the early, the late 60s, early 70s. And it was just a workshop every Monday night. And we had cast of characters, John Ritter, John Ritter. We had Rob Reiner, Penny Marshall, Jonathan Winters came in, Rob Reiner, and we would, Rob Williams, and Rob would just, what a group. I mean, talk about laughs. Bright, fabulous comedy. Robin Williams, hello. And my husband ended up doing Mork and Mindy with him.
That's right.
Playing Exodore. Right. So, and that was the hottest ticket in town, that dress rehearsal. Whew. Because you never knew what Robin was going to do.
You had no idea, and he's still sorely missed. There isn't anybody. Roger Calver, who's a friend of ours, he's been here on the show. He does an incredible one-man show as Robin, and he is impeccable. Roger Kepler is just really incredible. He's been highly revered, and he's going to be touring the country, and there's a documentary and all of this, and he can do Robin, and he's been training for years doing him and studying him, and he went through depression and anxiety and everything, and he actually attributes Robin for saving his life, which is really something when somebody has that influence on you. It was just amazing how uncanny he just morphs into Robin from the mannerisms, which isn't easy to do because Robin, would be all over the place. Couldn't keep up with him. I loved when I would see him on the Tonight Show, and he would break up Johnny and everybody that they had no idea what was going to happen next. Jonathan Winters like that too. Bring him in, you had no idea what stories he was going to tell. I still love watching the reruns or the archived video of the Dean Martin roasts.
Oh, me too.
How hilarious those were.
They were the best. They were the best.
Do you think that could happen today? Those kinds of roasts like that? I know they have one on Comedy Central, but that's on cable, you subscribe and all the rest. Do you think those kinds of roasts would happen today?
Good question. They could, but and you've got great comedy talent today. We got a lot of them, but I don't see it being the way it was, and that's because I love the old timers that were so spectacular, and even I don't know. It's a good question.
Phyllis Dillers, Don Rickles.
Hello.
Yeah.
And Don was great. I mean, we were very close friends with Rickles and with Jonathan and his wife Winters. We did traveling with them because we played tennis with them and things. And Jonathan would do things where
just
traveling up to play in the Clint Eastwood celebrity tennis tournament. And Jonathan had to go in his Rolls Royce, went slow up the coast, and we're in Donner's Porsche. We go fast. And so we got them go ahead, quite a bit before we started taking off. And we go around a bend on the way up there. And that's when they had phone booths. And standing at a phone booth is Jonathan with the phone out going, "It's for you," as we come around the corner. I mean, you just never knew what he was going to do next. Loved him to pieces. And he was a hell of an artist.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. Yeah. Absolutely. For those watching, our illustrious and fabulous friend of our show and guest, Cissy Wellman, she also appeared in Ben Casey and Charlie's Angels, and of course, the Waltons as Sissy Walker, who worked at the Dewdrop Inn and married Yancy Tucker and played by Robert Donner. How did the opportunity come your way to be involved in that beloved series, The Waltons? People, they know you, they still do mention General Hospital, even though that was an early part of your career.
Right.
They mention that because, those fans are diehard. They know everything about every episode, but there's a tremendous loyalty for the Waltons. We've had Cammie Cotler on and Judy Norton. Michael Leonard's been on the show several times, and they're all fabulous. How did the Waltons come about for you?
She's laughing. Well,
yeah.
Oh, good Lord. Because Robert Donner, who was on it playing Yancy, and he was on it for a couple of seasons. And I got to know Earl Hamner, of course, and they knew my work as an actor, even though I had sort of stopped because I was really running Donner's career. And I wasn't working that much anymore. Unless I got a call to work, I really sort of stopped. And Earl came and said, "How would you like to come and visit your husband in jail?" And I went, "That works." And we both looked at each other and laughed. And that's when I played Jane Aspen, believe it or not,
That's right.
the first time.
You played a couple of roles on there. Yeah.
And so that was, and then after the next season, Earl came to me and he said, "How would you like to be a recurring role and play opposite your husband? Let's see what we could do with you guys." I said, "Love it." And then he changed, of course, the Sissy Walker, Cissy Wellman, hello. So he did it and wrote it for me to come in, because, I slept with the actor. Ta-da! And Earl loved my work. So I got to have fun and play. And that was the best show to work. They were so great and loving. We had, Gerald McRaney was on one of the shows I did. And I love Gerald. I mean, Mackie is just so
Ralph
great.
Wade and Michael Leonard and all these incredible people who've come through there. And people still, they just celebrated like 50 years of the Waltons, 50 years of Little House on the Prairie. It's amazing, these anniversaries and milestones and the outpouring of love and support for these iconic series, and anybody who was on them, whether it was a one-shot deal or they were on regularly, the fan base is extraordinary. And I bet you hear that, right?
Oh, absolutely. But the gift is because it's very family oriented, and there really isn't that, the family oriented shows today are not really family oriented. It's a whole different kind of, feeling, it's a whole different thing. You can't compare it. You can't explain it. And except it was a family that you cared about, all of them. And you went through, I think maybe it's because it was during the Depression time and everything like that, that you really got the feeling of pulling together people that didn't have that much, who really pulled together. And what a great cast. Talk about a group of people that are just fabulous. Yeah. I was blessed. Yeah. Oh God, there she is. 35 years old I was.
Extraordinary, really. And again, you are in celluloid history for sure. You still hear from people who recall your being on there? Do you still get
Oh,
fan
sure.
mail or feedback? Yeah.
I'm getting more fan mail
Right.
lately.
I wouldn't imagine. Yeah.
Period. From everything. I mean, people that loved FM, which surprised me a lot. And of course, Outlaw Josey Wales, Clint, that's always gonna be a biggie. But those are like quite wonderful. I mean, people have said they've, with the ones they mentioned things that I've forgotten. It's like, oh my God, I did do that.
You've even done work with Hallmark too. I know
Yes,
there's a big fan base. People love the Hallmark Channel, Hallmark movies. What's it like working on those?
loved it. I loved it. That was really fun. I did, and which was great is Chris Tabori directed one of the ones I did, and he's like a legend. He's wonderful. His said that, and now I'm blanking on his mom, Vivica Lindfors, an old wonderful actress. If you look her up, and she's of course been gone. That was his mother, and he's a big fan of my dad. So he was just doing all dad stories in between takes. I'm going, Chris, Chris,
Yeah,
it's about me, Chris.
right.
My turn.
My turn.
And we laugh. I mean, that's the joy. Yeah, I love doing Hallmark movies. They're fun.
Would you like to do more if they came along?
Sure.
Yeah.
Sure, but you know what? A lot of them they're being shot in Canada. A lot of them.
Vancouver, right?
Yeah, and
Yeah.
I'm not a Canadian. I don't have the card or anything like that. And they really go with the people that have that. And there are a lot of people that do, that do them. So
They'll have the dual sort of, yeah.
yeah. But meanwhile, I'm very happy with what I've been doing. I did a Shameless. I had fun doing that. And I just did a movie that Darren Aronofsky produced. And if you don't know who Darren is, he did The Black Swan. He did the the wonderful Academy Award film that just recently. I hate this one. I'm blank on names. The Whale. He directed The Whale, which was phenomenal. And so we'll see what happens with that when it comes out. So I'm still out there. I'm hopefully. I just did a for Darren Sarafian, who's a wonderful director, writer, producer. If you remember the series House.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
Yes.
Well, Darren was the exec producer and director of the first 5 seasons, and I just did a pilot for him and did a wonderful role. Be irregular if it went, and he's got 2 movies that he's written that he's mentioned that he'd love to have me do. So, we'll see. If it's meant to be, it will be. And meanwhile, I'm hoping to produce. I'm producing. I've talked to Darren. He will write it and direct it, and it's a short film. And I'm not going to tell you anything more about it, except for it's a 2-character, 2 ladies, me and one other lady who I'm not going to mention, but God willing, if we get it done, she's a wonderful, you would know her. And it's the 2 of us, and it would be great, so hopefully, but he's got so much on his plate right now. So we'll see if it fits in, but that would be fabulous. And it would be with Dee Wallace.
Oh, Dee Wallace,
Dee and
yeah.
me. Dee and I have always wanted to work together.
Yeah, she's fabulous. Oh, so you haven't had a chance to work together yet?
We've always wanted to work together.
And this is a first for you.
Yeah.
Wow.
Well, we were in an acting class together in the early 70s.
Right.
Charles Conrad. We've been close friends ever since. We've always said, we got to work. Why aren't we working together?
Got to have a project, right?
And this story is fabulous. It's a great one. And it's just 2 ladies. It's just 2 of us. And I said, no Alzheimer's or no dementia. And there isn't. It's a very Twilight Zone-y type show. So,
that's going to be.
If it's meant to be, it will be. I'm
fingers and toes crossed. Yeah, absolutely. There's a great shot of you and Michael Leonard.
I love that.
Isn't that great? Do you stay in touch with some members of the Waltons
Oh yeah,
cast? You guys all stayed
Michael.
together?
I just talked to David last week, literally.
You did, huh?
Yeah, he gave me
Yeah,
a call. We talk. We text each other, and Judy, of course, we keep in
sure.
touch. Love that
Absolutely.
lady. She's talk about a talented lady that works all her time. She's terrific.
Big-hearted too. Yes,
Yes, yes.
absolutely.
So is Michael. Michael, I love Michael. We see each other a lot. Yeah.
Your father, of course, William Wellman, left us
Oh,
with a body of work that is so incredible. And tell us a little bit about your father for folks who didn't even know that that is your dad, and the incredible contributions to the industry, to
yeah,
film, to art. They are extraordinary. Tell
yeah.
us about him from we can read about him, we can Google him, but you're his loving daughter and you've worked with him and you've seen him in action and you've been inspired by him. From the daughter's perspective, tell us what he was like.
He's a charismatic man, period. He was phenomenal. Okay, he directed the very first film to win an Academy Award, Wings. And
Yes.
as a matter of fact, September 22nd, I will be at the Old Town Music Hall in El Segundo, California, because it's a wonderful theater and it seats 170 and they show old movies. And they're going to be showing Dad's The Original Star is Born that Dad wrote and directed and got the Academy Award for writing. And I'm going to be introducing it and talking about it and signing and taking my books to be signed. I'm doing it then. But he did, Nothing Sacred. The movies he did just are fabulous. Public Enemy, Oxwell Incident. You look him up, and he's a pioneer, and he taught me. He said, if you're going to be he patterned me after his favorite actresses that he worked with, which were Barbara Stanwyck and Ann Baxter, and he also loved Carol Lombard. And he said, he said they were always professional. They were always on time, if not early. You always knew where they were, the assistant director, where they were and where they were going. And be with the guys. Be one of the guys. Get to know the crew. Get to know the crew. And have fun, but be a pro. And I followed that because he used to be so much fun to watch on his sets, to go visit. He would stage fights for people that were coming on the sets to visit, that didn't know. And he would stage fights. He would be great. On his movie Track of the Cat with Robert Mitchum, Alfalfa Schweitzer, Alfalfa, who our gang comedy Alfalfa, he was 28 years old. Daddy loved him. He was a good friend. And he had him play a 98-year-old Indian with this heavy makeup on and everything. And he once was say, go stand. There was an upright coffin at the entrance that they used. And he'd have him go stand there. And he says, when people would come on to visit the set, and he one time came out, one lady passed out,
Yeah.
fainted, and immediately Warner came down and said, close the set. And Dad said, that's a wrap then. Everybody go home. I'm not going to work unless I can have fun. That was Dad.
Wow. That is
He was
fantastic.
terrific. He was quite a character. Yeah. Oh, and a gorgeous man. Yeah. That was the other thing. They've got the documentary on him that people can see.
Did he ever act as well? Certainly has a leading man look.
He hated it. He did one thing when he was trying to figure out what he wanted to do. And he didn't, he kids about it and says he had to rescue a lady, the lead actress, in the water and brought her in, and they disappeared from sight for a few minutes under the water. And he came up. Of course, he was fresh with her. And it ended up being the director's wife. So it was like, Bye-bye, Mr. Wellman.
Do
He
you
was
have a propensity for comedy or drama, or do you like both? Because you do
love them
have
both.
you have a
Love them both.
comedic wit and a quick timing. You're very great to have a conversation with because it's like a ping pong match, and there's the wit and the humor and the you're always spot on, which is fabulous.
Well, thank you. I love doing both. I really do. You know, the whole thing is nobody remembers a nice girl. So I love to play the drama, the heavies, because they're fun. Um, like the pilot that I just did, she's got a little bit of dementia. She's funny. She's wonderful. She's funny. I even get to wear a black wig, long black wig, because every time she has a dinner party, she changes. This is what she likes to do. And nobody ever says anything because they know that that's just what she does. She's hysterical. And the movie I just did, I played David Schwimmer's mother with Alzheimer's, and that was a real tough role. I mean, because she ran the gamut from A to Z because she thinks he's the husband, the father that she hates, and so she's even trying to seduce him to get out of assisted living area. I mean, it's this wonderful character. So
what do you do to prepare for a role? How do you immerse yourself in it? What do you what is your process?
It's just trusting. I'm from an old school of, I've done all the sense memory and all the things, and trusting, knowing it and just being real, saying, it's the old Jimmy Cagney's, plant your feet, look them in the eye and tell them the truth, and even though I don't have dementia, I don't think, you never know. No,
you only called me Walter. You
that.
only called me Walter once.
I shouldn't joke about that. That's a horrible thing to joke about. But it's like, the words, the story, those are like that. And I've been around people that it's just trusting.
Yes,
I
it
prepare
is.
I come up with a character usually when I'm auditioning.
Yeah.
I come up with a character, I dress it. I know what she looks like. I know what she wears. And I'm not afraid to, what I love about acting is I don't need to look good. I love adding lines, taking all, I don't wear any makeup. I dye my eyebrows and eyelashes so I don't have to wear makeup. And, yes, I loved her. Now, isn't that
perfect segue, huh?
Now, perfect.
Sissy Wellman does it all, folks.
But isn't she fun? The
Yes,
hag.
tell us about that character. Who
that was a webisode series that I did, and she was the hag. They called her the hag, and she was, doing all that kind of stuff, seething and quite boiling and stuff like
almost
that.
Almost like a witch in a way. Yeah,
that's exactly what she was. Not in a way, she was.
Yeah,
and it was really fun doing that. Love doing those. Are you kidding?
Look at that shot.
Yeah, that's the bad lady. That's the lady that's sad. That's she's been around the block. She's that's a tough lady. That's a sad lady. That's life. And that's the sweet grandma. That's, I don't get to play them very often. Strangely enough, they don't think of me as that because this is my natural color hair. Redhead turning white. This is it. This is the natural curl. Of course, I'll change it, pull it back. But they don't think of me as, the white-haired old lady that much. So.
Not at all. No, of course not. That's a fabulous shot of you.
Thank you. Thank you. I love that shot.
They say a great picture is when they capture the eyes, and certainly did in that shot for sure.
Thank you, hon.
The eyes, speak volumes. Here's another great project you were on.
Oh, see, look at the character I got to do.
Yes.
The mansion. Oh God.
Mansion's Blood. Is that
Mansion of Blood? Oh my God. I think you can get the copy of it
like around 2015 or something. This was done.
Yeah. On Amazon, they still have a copy. I don't think it got released because it's just awful. We were the best things in it.
But you
Yes,
probably
we were.
enjoyed it, right?
Oh no, really the film is that's why it didn't get released, I guess. But we were the best things in it, and talk about comedy, because we were trying to poison everybody with our cookies, and my character was so much fun. Terry and I had a ball because I was a sadistic, masochistic who, when you get shot, she has orgasms. So
I mean,
I got shot going, oh, 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 oh. And then she says, can I put some lemon? Oh, please put some lemon in it. Oh, yeah. Oh. And she's just.
Can you imagine if somebody was just tuning in now?
But that's the fun.
Lucy, you have some splaining to do.
But that was a joy to do. And I came up with that with the director. All of a sudden I got shot and I started doing it. It just sometimes when you're in character, things happen.
Yes.
Things happen that are unexpected because you're in character. You know what you're doing. And all of a sudden you just do it.
Sometimes they say, depending on who you're working with, who the director is and the filmmaker and all the rest, the writers, if you're not doing those roles yourself, you get a chance to sometimes add in your feelings, your 2 cents about where you think the character should go, or maybe, that character really wouldn't say that line or do that thing. Have you had those opportunities to have input along the way?
Yeah. Yeah, but most of the time, I must say I've been blessed that most of the writing I've been blessed to do is I like. I don't really need to change. There are times when I'm auditioning, I'll change lines and I'll add a bumper at the end, I call it, that's not written. But when I worked with Jim Belushi on Made Men, did a lot of improv with that, because that's what Jim likes to do. And I love it. And I would not know what he'd do. He'd come up, one of the scenes, I ran a market. I owned a little market. And she was a real old lady. I wish you could find her. She's delicious. And he came in and just would ad lib with part of the scene. He said, well, tell me, Francis, what are these fly strips over here for? I mean, do you know? I mean, what do they do? I said, and that's not part. I said, I just don't know. I don't know, Billy Bob, but you know what? I'm going to find out, because that's an interesting idea. Find out what they do. And he loved it. It's like, throw things out. Go with it.
Exactly. Have you had opportunities to do voice work for animation over the years, characters or any narration, voiceover work?
I have done narration. I have done for film. I have done, that I have done that for a couple of films.
Do you enjoy that?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I would love to do it, but that's a tough field to get into, because there's so many people in it that
they're all in it.
They're all there. It's already a niche. They've got it. They've got that. So no, that's but if anybody ever asked, I would jump at it, because I love doing characters.
When you're playing a role, how are you able to, some of the roles can be comedic and it might be a little bit easier to detach from. Some of them can be very intense and emotional. How are you? I mean, you're a expertly skilled performer, so you have your technique, you have your understanding and appreciation of it all. But how does Sissy detach from the character and leave it on the page and continue about her day? Some people, they get so wrapped up in a character that sometimes they lose themselves so deeply in the character, they forget about who they are and they can't separate it anymore. How have you been able to do that over the years?
That's, I had one time that I really remember that I had a tough time. And it was an audition live. This is way back. And it was for the lead guest star. And she was the mother boy, of a daughter that she hated. She hated her daughter and had to say it, and was just like this, angry, just really, and had to throw things at it and do things like that. And I did it with the producers or the director, and I just, you get this whole thing going. And I walked out of there, walked across CBS Studio Center, and I had to scream and yell to get it out of my system, because that was a hard one for me. Because I love kids. And to be this, she was so hateful, what she said to her daughter. That was a hard one for me. But I yelled. I screamed it out. Most of the time, the characters I play, like, the longevity, it's the longevity. If you're doing it for weeks and months, if you're in this character, shooting, that's a hard one. The Waltons is a lovely character, and she's basically me. So that was easy, except for, of course, the accent. So, she's just, and she's a little manipulative, which I'm just a little bit on occasion.
As she swivels her chair.
Who, me? Trying to find where, making him jealous and doing that. Well, that's a female trait. Did I say that? That sounded very feminism, but feministic. But, I've been blessed that I really haven't had that. If I have the dementia one, that was tough, that I did with playing David Schwimmer's mom. But that was just that one scene. And I'm able to change. Like when I've done theater, I did a Pack of Lies, which was wonderful. And I got a Best Supporting Actress for it. And, she has to go from being a drunken, screaming, yelling kind of thing to the minute that she finishes that, steps right into a key light by herself, and here's this, telling this story about this, that, and the other, and how she was, and this, that, a whole different part of her character. So, I love that. I love it, because I'm able to turn it on and off. I can cry. I can do that. But I'm a firm believer that I don't like to do it for my audience. My dad taught me that. He said, I'd rather see somebody turn away than snot coming out of their nose. And I have to agree with him. If you got to wipe your nose, number one. And when people don't, I say, oh, wipe your nose.
Cabbage in the teeth kind of thing. Yeah.
Yeah. It's yeah. I believe in letting the audience feel it. I don't want to feel it. The best thing when I see something where I'm touched is when the actor's fighting back the tears, the thing. And, that always gets me. And that I try to do when I have to do that.
In addition to being an extraordinary actress and director and everything else we're talking about, Sissy, you are really a woman who lives her life in gratitude, and you journal every morning, don't you?
Yes, I do. I'm also breaking my anonymity. I'm a sober alcoholic of 39 and a half years now.
That's right.
Thank you, God. And part of that is being rigorously honest and being in gratitude, loving the now, because that's all we got, is in the presence, being present, and in gratitude. My life is blessed. I'm healthy.
It really is. Yes, you're healthy.
I work out. I'm in great. You want to see what a great shape looking old lady this is? Hello. Watch this. Look at this old gal. I mean, this is in shape. Hello. I work out. So
I should have had you start the show that way. And now here's Cissy Wellman. And you come in. And look what happened as we started talking about positive things. Look at the glow and the light all around you.
I love that.
See, there is magic in
you
that.
Get the crazy lady here.
Well, I tell you, but with a big heart, a huge heart. And I knew
Thank
that the
you.
very first time we had you on the show and we had chatted. You know, everything you write has this richness and firsthand accuracy, which I think is so great. You really appreciate and honor and respect the history of Hollywood.
Love
And
it.
so much now of Hollywood and even our world of television, where I'm in television, radio, broadcast, is being altered, twisted, tweaked. There's a lot of change going on. You know, the sale of CBS Television City. And now I saw today that they've closed Paramount
Yeah.
Studios
Yeah.
and the lot. I don't know if this people watching knows what that means. That's the major studio where so many iconic television shows. I mean, the Brady Bunch came out of there, Love American Style, all these
And
series,
movies.
movies. And
Yeah.
I was just there before the pandemic because a friend of mine works at Dr. Phil, and they were filming the series on the Paramount lot. Now they film it in Texas, but I got a personal tour, not the studio tour, but a personal tour into the evening of the lots, of the sets, of everything. And I knew, especially being somebody in this industry, that I was walking on sacred ground. You know, the Desilu connection and all of that too. And Paramount is the gates are locked and closed, and who would ever think? It's you've been in it for a number of years, ever since you were born, the family history. I bet it's kind of emotional for you to see some of these things that we always thought would always be there and that are responsible for so much entertainment and joy and incredible things in our lives sort of withering in its way as change happens and technology advances. Some of this grandiosity fades away with it. How do you feel about all that?
Oh, sad, honey. Totally sad. Of course. I mean, but it's not the same business anymore at all. You know, it's a business, and you know, COVID changed a lot with that, and also reality TV, which a lot of people love. But that's that's because of strikes and things. There was no work, but there's I that was my home base was Paramount. Howard Koch was the head of the studio. We were close. And that's where I shot Redline 7000. And that's where I worked on Jerry Lewis movies there. And that's where my Desilu Professional Theater Workshop was right there. My Three Sons I did there. Ben Casey I did there. Elvis Presley, I was with Elvis there. And that's where I did Blue Hawaii. God, of course it's sad. It's just, but I think the difference is I know it, so it's sad to me. The people that don't know all of it, they can't understand the sadness because they weren't a part of it.
They used to take time to tell stories to the point where you felt things. And now a lot of material is faster, highly edited, and short little 6-second videos. You go from these grand epic productions, whether it's television, film, or even stage, especially with television and film. And a lot of things now are quick, and you don't necessarily have time to get into feeling and to be left with it where you were moved, where you have a pregnant pause or you take a breath. Because everything is so ramped up and so fast, and it's quick hits and quick videos and quick little things, and it's completely flipped in another direction.
It's the technology thing.
Technology, yeah.
It's change. Everything changes. That's the only thing we know for sure is everything changes. Good, bad, or indifferent, but it's changing. And the technology. I mean, everybody shoots. I would do it. I'll be doing it on a phone.
That's what it is. We all do, right?
The thing that I hate, though, that scares me, that I don't like, is the AI. I don't want to lose. I didn't like reality TV. I still don't watch it except for The Voice.
I just
Because
want to let the audience know I've vetted this. You are talking to the real Cissy Wellman in the flesh. This is not the AI version. This
thank
is really
God,
Cissy. This is really Jim.
true. But
For
that's,
now. For
we're going to be
now.
out of, a lot of people will be out of work with it. I mean, I just,
That's
and
part of
all
it.
the different things is just taking away from what we loved, which was showbiz and the imagination. They're making it really, I just, you know, I'm just a little scared. But I think the good thing was when the actors we went on strike, because we have to start somewhere with boundaries on what AI can do and not do right now.
Exactly. Some people are asking, why is Paramount closing down? It's money.
Money,
It's losing revenue, and a lot of places are cutting back and laying off. And
right?
I mean, in New York, they just decided to drop after 50, 60 years the all radio news format on WCBS News 88. They're completely dropping because CBS is part of Paramount. Paramount is doing all these cutbacks, laying off, and it's trickling down. And the parent company, I believe Audacity, is part of all of that. And I know people who are on the air many years on WCBS News 88 New York, and their last day was today or yesterday, and they're flipping it
Okay.
to ESPN Sports. So when there's something big going on, that you need to know about,
Yep.
par for the course,
Yep. Yeah. Sad is just sad for me.
Tell
But I
us,
sit there going, at my age, at least I'm blessed. I did a lot. I did a lot. I've seen a lot. I'm blessed. I've done more than most, less than
that's,
others. And my
and
background and everything.
you've
Thank you, God.
appreciated it and you've shared it.
Loved it.
And tell us about, for those who don't know about the book, tell us about the book. It's a cool
It's
one.
it's just
I like
it's a
that
positive.
smile.
It's a positive one. It really is. It's not a downer. If you're looking for bad stuff, it's not. It's just my stories with certain people and pictures, and it's just blessed. I've got Elvis in there. I've got Richard Brooks. I've got Howard Hawks, who was my surrogate dad. He was a fabulous producer director, and they're just my stories. They're my stories.
What was it
I'm
like
blessed.
writing it, and how were you able to pull from journals?
No, you know what? I because I wrote it during the COVID,
That's right.
of course. But I'm not a writer. I'm not a writer. I call myself a Dick and Jane writer. Hi, how are you? I'm fine. These are my stories. So what I did is, I talked it in. I have the microphone on my thing, so because as you could tell, my mind works very fast, faster than I could write. So it's easier for me to talk the story into, and then I can edit it as I go along, because you have to, because sometimes you read what you thought you just said and you go, huh? Huh?
Right. Right.
And I say
Right.
that, what is what is that? So that's how I wrote it. I just started writing stories, and I put the stories, and that's, I just made a list and did things, and then I got a wonderful editor, who's helped me. It was just great, because I said to her, I need help with it because I'm not good with grammar or spelling. She says, I am. So I said, terrific.
So
But it's all
you're
me.
in.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's all me and the pictures, and I didn't think I could write a book about it, because I thought all books had to be at least 350 pages.
Mm.
And then my sister wrote a couple of books, not like mine. She writes poetry. She writes fabulous. Maggie Wellman, Surma, she's fabulous. And she wrote one, and it was just 100 pages. And I went, I could do that. I could do that. So if anybody's out there and wants to write something,
You
write.
can do it.
Do it. Give
How
it a
about
shot.
how about this one here?
What? I'm not seeing anything.
Wild Bill Wellman, Hollywood Rebel. You see that one?
No, I don't. There's nothing on my screen.
Your screen went blank.
Well, it's just me and you, kid.
Do you see that?
Yeah.
Do you see the book?
No.
Do you see your picture here?
Yes.
Do you see the book there?
No.
Wow, that's interesting.
I saw it a while back, but it's not here anymore. It left. It went bye-bye. It was tired of being on.
You see it now?
Nope. AI, where are you when we need you? No.
I'm not sure AI are the appropriate letters.
Well, that's funny. Very good. Oh, dear. No, I don't see a book or anything.
Well,
What
it's,
were you going to talk about? What were you going to show?
the title of that book is Wild Bill Wellman, Hollywood Rebel, William Wellman Jr.
Yeah. And also you've got the one that's wonderful is the documentary, Wild Bill Hollywood Maverick. It's really fabulous because it really takes you through his career, but what was happening in the world during that time. It's fabulous. And that was interesting because their shots. Now, my father was 39 when he married my mother, who was 19. So my dad had me. I'm number 5. So, and we're all 2 years apart. So he was 37 when he married mine. He was 47, 48 when he had me. So I remember him not young, really, but he always was energetic and everything. But there's shots of him, live shots of him in the documentary where he's on horseback directing with shirtless with this curly hair, and I'm going, oh my God, I'm getting turned on by my dad. This is not a good thing, I don't think. He is hot. Oh God. I'm going, oh, therapist may want. Yeah, look at that dude. I mean, that's. And that's.
But what
that's,
a craftsman,
that's
right?
Character.
What a craftsman. He had a real amazing eye. Another person we had, Catherine Kramer on, daughter of Stanley Kramer, another incredible. And it's so beautiful to see the love and admiration and respect she has for her father, Stanley Kramer, and you have for your father, William Wellman. It really is something very, very special. You know, if you were not in this industry, if you weren't doing the acting and directing, producing, the dancing over the years, what would have been plan B? Is it the airline flight attendant, or are there other things along the way you may have embarked on, Sissy?
Well, the flying, of course, because when I was younger, because my dad was a pilot, I love airplanes. I love flying.
So when you're on an airplane and they're doing the instructions in the case of an emergency, here are the exits, and when the guy next to you isn't paying attention, do you go, hey, buddy, listen, it's important information?
Oh, no, I don't know. That would be wild. That would be wild. Who knows what I do? But I love animals. So, and I also want to be a vet. But I'm afraid of blood and needles. So that had to be stopped. But I love animals.
That had to be stopped. It was going, and I said, stop.
No, we're not going to do that one.
We're not going in that direction.
No, but I love animals, and I have them, and I was brought up with them, and I love animals. So I would love to. I'm volunteering, with that. So yeah. So that's a part now because I paint. I've done that. I loved. That's fun. I've got a bunch on my wall.
What was also? Tell us about Love Letters Live. Were you involved in that? Love Letters Live?
No. What's that? Love Letters Live.
Remember Love Letters?
Yes.
That was iconic. Were you ever involved in that?
No. Well, no. I would have loved to have done that. I love that.
I mean, I could see you in that role. I can just envision. That's what I was asking. I can envision you taking that on.
Oh, that would love to do that. I could still do that. Yeah, I would love to do that.
So if
That's a
anybody's
great.
listening, get her in that. That would be. But one
That's
thing that you are, and this is something for everybody to know because maybe they don't. I mentioned that when we were welcoming you to the show, you've been working with the Born to Act players, which is something that's been near and dear to your heart, and it's so giving and loving of you to be a part of it. Tell us about it.
no, they give to me.
I
It
love what
really.
a great answer. Yeah.
Oh man, I mean, if the world were they're with Downs, they're Born Act players, and you can look them up. It's just spectacular. They just we had a show this last weekend, and we've got there's a new uh, assistant, and it's Kevin Neely from Saturday Night Live. He loves the group. His wife Susan Yuli is fabulous, and his son. They come on and they're assistants. We put on shows. We do improvs, sing, dance, and their ages 19 to about 55 with Down syndrome, autism, and special abilities. And they're fabulous. They're very high functioning. A lot of them are paid actors. They work. And boy, you do an improv with them, and it's the best thing in the world. Want to talk about training, want to talk about learning as an actor. I mean, you never say no to them. And they're so quick and they're so loving. They just have the biggest hearts. They hug you. They love you. They let you know exactly how they feel. And they can get pissed, but they don't hold a resentment. What a concept. They're just the best. And I've been with them for 12 years. I have not been with them lately, working with them because of I had a shoulder replacement surgery, and they're hugging and loving. And I can't tell them, you can't hug me. And when we're doing an improv, I can't tell them, no, you can't touch me here, So I've been away from them for a while, and that's okay. I'm going to start back literally in September on Thursdays with them. So I'll be back.
Oh, that's not. I'll be back. That's
I'll
so
be back.
nice. That's so beautiful. Really. What are some
yeah,
other
they've
things you
been
have
great.
coming up that you're excited about? Things that you maybe still have on your Cissy Wellman bucket list.
Oh dear God! I'm blessed that I pretty much have done everything. I've traveled. I've done what I want. I'm a homebody. I love taking my niece with me on places. I've never had children, so but I've got being one of 7. I have, last count, I think it was 46 nieces, nephews, great nieces and nephews. So it's there's family there, but and I love animals. I think that's on my thing. I'm going to start working more with animals.
Do you have any there in the house? Cats, dogs, any?
Yes.
Yeah.
I have 4 cats, one in the house they're all in indoor and outdoor, and the one is mainly indoors. She doesn't like to go out. She doesn't like her brother. He has to stay outside. She gets him. She's, now you can't come in. She's mine, meaning me. And there are 3 of them that are outside. But they're around. I feed them. That's why I fed them right before we started the show.
To make sure that they're taken care
Yeah, and
of.
I've got squirrels. I got a great place. I've got a lot of land. I've got squirrels. I've got wildlife here. That's just great. I feed the squirrels, the birds, the raccoons. No, but they come and check it out. And I try to take in the food way before they arrive. And I love them. They're so cute, but they don't want them to be around. But yeah, possums, all of the above. I love animals. I'm not a snake person, but I love animals.
But so there's no snakes in or around the
No.
property for.
No.
Yeah.
Some lizards, which I think are so cute.
Are you an ocean person?
Yes.
Me too. Yeah. I love
Big
the
water
ocean.
person.
Yeah.
Love it.
There's just something about when you're feet are bare in the sand and you're dipping in that ocean, the tide, the rhythm, the energy, the life of it, right?
I've taken places at the beach quite often, just, for a week, just so I can be there and just be with Mother Nature and just.
Mm.
And I swim. I'm a swimmer. I swim when the water's cold. I do cold plunges in my pool.
Do you do that? Right?
Yeah.
They say it's very good for you, healthy.
Yeah. Well, I'm still here.
Right. Exactly.
And because I don't heat my pool in the winter, and it's small. It's a workout.
Yeah.
It's 3 feet it's 5 by 11 feet, and it's only 3 feet deep, but it gets cold down to 47, and I do cold plunges. I go in yelling. I'm in there for 3 minutes. I work out. I start with seconds and work up to 3 minutes. And
the neighbors just say, "Don't worry, that's just Sissy. She's going in the pool."
They don't react or anything, so I guess they think I'm alive, or they don't care.
It's a good sign. Yeah. Do you eat well too? Do you watch what you eat and all that? Do you live a healthy lifestyle?
Most of the time, yes. I stay away from. I'll binge. Yeah, I'm normal. I binge. I love ice cream, and I'll do cookies or something. But cake.
What's the ice cream of choice?
Yeah, but I try.
What kind of ice cream do you like? What's your favorite?
Don't I like?
If you and I went out for ice cream, and there was all these choices, and if I was in that zip code, I would treat you to an ice cream. Maybe one of those days that'll happen if I'm out there on a TV shoot or something. What would be the ice cream that Sissy would pick?
You're not gonna believe it. I do vanilla, but I also
Me
love
too.
Gelato.
I love vanilla.
Yes, I love vanilla, but I love gelatos that are different flavor, and I love vanilla bean. Give me that vanilla.
Oh, that's good, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I'll mix. It's like, what don't you like? Duh.
Do you like to cook?
Love to cook.
What's some of your specialty?
Everything. I even did a little cookbook that I made for friends. I did it when I was on Outlaw Josey Wales. Yeah, I love my pot roast. I love chili. I do a turkey chili that's out of this world. I do cookies. I try not to bake. I'm not a baker, of sweets.
And you have Irish in you too, don't you? Is there Irish in you?
I'm McCarthy. Are you kidding? I've got all the Irish.
Yes, the McCarthy part. So
Yes.
do you love potatoes?
I try to stay. When I do a little, I'll do a little whole new potato and mash avocado in it.
That sounds good. I love the mashed potatoes. Oh my goodness.
See, I try to stay away
the Irish in me on my father's side. I love the mashed.
I try to stay away from sugar, white flour, and I'm trying to be gluten free. So I try to be very healthy. Yeah, I love salads. I love meat.
Yeah.
I'm not a big pasta eater, except for what is in front of me. I'm not a pizza eater, except if it's garlic and cheese, and that's it.
If God said to you, Sissy, I'm going to put you on an island by yourself for the rest of your life, you'll enjoy it. You'll be happy. It's a beautiful place. There's only one food you'll be able to eat for the rest of your time here on planet Earth, the big blue marble, and you'll be fine. You'll sustain on it. What would be that one food you'd want?
Turkey or watermelon?
Wow, what an interesting...
I love turkey, watermelon. Hello. Let me see. I don't know.
For me, it's the mashed
Is it hot
potatoes.
or is it cold? If it's hot, watermelon. If it's cold,
So what I'll do is I will swim when I'm on my island. I will swim over to your island,
okay,
and I will bring some of my mashed potatoes because that's what I'm going to have on my island, and we will have it with your turkey, and then maybe somebody on the other island will have watermelon.
That could work. That's a great.
It'll
feast.
be a big party.
That would be a good feast, and I love garlic. I'm a garlicaholic.
Very healthy, and turmeric is very good for you,
Yes.
right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Love all
Yeah. It sounds like you love comfort foods, which I do too.
that. Me too.
Are you out of the box too? Do you like to play around in the kitchen and create different things?
Well, I did when I was married. I used to entertain a lot, but I love Mexican food a lot, and I'll make my own. By myself, I'll make my own tortilla. a special, I'll do a special kind of a tortilla that's, gluten free. And then I'll put, ground beef on it, cheese melted. I'll do all of this stuff and wrap it and lettuce and onions, and I'm in heaven. I keep it simple because I'm by myself, and I don't mind leftovers at all. And I love Trader
Neither do
Joe's.
I've got a friend who works there. I've got an inn. So you go
Oh,
there a lot. What are some of the things you like to get
yes.
from Trader Joe's?
Well, what I love to get is that, believe it or not, I get their frozen ginger. They have a thing that has squares of ginger that's frozen, and I put that into everything. I love ginger, and
It's good for you too.
yeah. So, I get my stuff there. That's salmon.
Good.
Yeah.
Oh, salmon. Yeah.
So
Wild Atlantic, right? Not farm raised. Wild Atlantic.
okay. Yeah.
Right.
Why do you prefer that over
They say that farm raised isn't as good. There's a lot of mercury that's in because they're enclosed. They're farm raised, but Wild Atlantic, they're getting them out of the ocean, wild. So they're not eating the same stuff.
Gotcha.
In not cages, but like all crammed together, and they're deliberately raised and injected and all these different things. So they always say if you have your choice between farm raised or Wild Atlantic salmon, the Wild Atlantic is the way to go. It's much, much healthier.
Thank you. Okay. Good.
Well, we want you to be around for many, many years so you can keep coming back to the Jim Masters Show, my friend.
Okay, I can do that.
You're one of our A-list regulars.
The crazies, yes.
That's it. We needed our Cissy Wellman fix.
Thank you.
You are a delight. You really, really
you.
are, my friend. We love having you here. Always a great conversation, a lot of fun, free flowing. It's kind of like I always say, I do this like a television show, like Dick Cavett and Carson and Merv and all the rest, where it's not scripted. We don't have pre-prepared questions. We just have a good conversation about all these great things. And you're always a delight to have those conversations with. So I really hope you enjoyed the time with me as much as I have with you.
I always do. Thank you. It just flew by. Because I'm missing what I need to.
We're going to be going right to that. That screen is going to go on, and we're going to be. Yeah, I know what you're talking about. You are. We're going to keep the porch light on for you. Let's stay in touch. Keep me posted on all the cool things you're doing, and if I'm out in your direction on a TV show,
you better let me know.
I'll look you up, and we'll go for ice cream.
I'll fix you dinner.
Fix dinner,
and then we'll walk to ice cream.
We'll go get the ice cream. That sounds good, Sissy.
Works.
You are a delight. Thanks so much for spending time with us and being so generous with your time. And come back and see us again, okay, my friend?
Thank you.
We love you, Sissy.
I love you too. Take care. Bless you.
Be well. Bye-bye.
Bye, all.
Cissy Wellman joining us here on the Jim Masters Show live series. Wow. Are you hungry? I'm starved with some of the foods that she talked about that she likes to make. She really is a tremendous person, a true talent, an extraordinary, legendary actress on so many of your favorite shows and movies and so much more, coming from an iconic Hollywood family. But at the same time, she grew up on a farm with animals. She has a love for animals. I think that was a great plus, growing up on a farm. She's there in the Hollywood area and exposed to all of the glitz and glamour, but yet she has the sensibility and the humanity that comes from living in a farm atmosphere with animals and just understanding the basics of life, which I think is so great. And that was also perfect training to get on to the Waltons, which she was on. And as she mentioned, she was on, the first year of General Hospital too, and it was like training ground for her, which was really, really cool. And I know the GH fans have followed General Hospital ever since it hit the airwaves on ABC network. So if you look at her body of work, we just scratched the surface of all the incredible things that Cissy Wellman has been a part of. And of course, her iconic dad. Just Google William Wellman. You'll see the movies that he was responsible for, the original A Star is Born, and so much more. A real delight having her on the show. There's the book. They say I come from Hollywood royalty, so where's my crown? And there she is in the arms of not John Wayne, but Clark Gable. Of course, that's Clark Gable. And there's another great shot. That's Clark Gable. And then she is with her dad, her iconic father, William Wellman, the Oscar-winning filmmaker, her father, right there. And again, she's been in our lives for a long time on our TV screens and in the movies and so much more. And yeah, we were talking about how Paramount Studios has closed its doors. The studios in Hollywood have shut down, which is unbelievable. Yeah, it's so sad. CBS Television City is gone. And yeah, it's a sign of the times. Some wonderful shots, cool shots. She does it all, right? Hollywood royalty joining us here on the Jim Masters Show. For all of you, it was a return engagement. This was her return visit to JMS, and we loved having her here. If you enjoyed it, hey, interact with us. Leave a comment in the comments section underneath this episode. Drop a comment. Let us know maybe some of the things you've seen Sissy in over the years. Let us know why you enjoy our show. Say hello in the comments section. And we would love it too if you subscribe to the YouTube channel. I know we say that each time because we're always getting new people and new viewers who we love. We welcome everybody who's joining us for the first time, and we love all our regulars, our lovety regulars. If you enjoyed this episode, give it a like. Click the thumbs up like icon on the YouTube channel. Share this on your social media. Leave a comment for us and subscribe to Jim Masters TV. That's the channel where this episode and all the episodes are housed. Lots of great comments here, and let's take a look at a couple of them. Sissy is pretty awesome. Had no idea her dad was awesome too. Thank you, sir. Thank you, Hootie and Red Wing. Hey, welcome to the show. You are now Jim Masters Show lovely family members. Tell everybody you know about our show. Come back and see us again and binge watch the hundreds and hundreds of episodes with celebrity friends and guests that we have, all for you here on our YouTube channel. Check it out. Thanks to Kathleen and thanks to Sherry and everybody. Love the color on you, Jim, but you do look good in everything. How do I print that one out? Thank you, Kathleen. I appreciate that. And I'll adapt and count our blessings. Spot on. Absolutely. You guys are fantastic. Thanks for all the great comments. We love having you here. Thank you. Thank you for Jane and Merlin and some of our regulars and Sherry and Maureen. Good seeing everybody here and everybody that's watching live and some that will comment later in the archives. Whenever you watch, if you join us live or you join us later in the archives, we just love having you here. And we thank you for your support and sharing and spreading the word about the Jim Masters Show Live series. We welcome all new viewers. Great to have you with us, and all subscribers to our YouTube channel, Jim Masters TV, as well. Come see us again. This is Jim Masters. Thanking you for your time this time. Till next time, love one another, take care of one another, and definitely don't forget to take time for yourself and love yourself. Believe me, I'm so busy sometimes. I have to remind myself of those words I say to you all the time. Take time for yourself and take time to do what you need to do. Cool stuff. Hootie and Red Wing are in the house on the Jim Masters Show Live series. They're now part of the JMS Lovety family. And so are you. Come see us on the next episode. Binge watch all the others. And we love having you here. And thanks for your time spending it with us. We know there's a lot of other things you could be doing. The fact that you tuned in and you watch, like, support, share, and all the rest means the world to us, means the world to me. Come see us again for more of all the lovety here at the Jim Masters Show. We love you all. Take care and be well. Cheers.